Hey guys, it's Raining Spider-Man, and it's time to take a look at the newest Legend of Korra comic, Ruins of the Empire. This is the second new story in the Legend of Korra comic book series. The previous installment, Turf Wars, largely focused on Republic City's reconstruction following the battle with Kuvira. Ruins of the Empire deals with the Earth Kingdom as a whole, as well as Kuvira herself. Now that Republic City is under new leadership, it's time to reshape the entire political structure of the Earth Kingdom. King Wu is moving forward with his plan to abolish the monarchy and introduce democracy. The different regions of the Earth Kingdom will soon hold their first elections. Not all is well though. A couple of stragglers from the Earth Empire have reformed themselves under the leadership of Commander Guan. Guan is determined to make Kuvira's plans for conquest come true. Meanwhile, Kuvira herself stands trial for her crimes. Although she admits her wrongdoings, she still pleads not guilty and doesn't seem keen on truly accepting her punishment. Once Korra hears of Guan's plans, however, she is forced to enlist Kuvira's help, and the gang sets off to quell anything Guan may do to threaten democracy. Just like Turf Wars, Ruins of the Empire is very politically driven. Even more so, the moral choices here are far more ambiguous, and it never feels like there's a simple answer to the questions presented. The most fascinating example of this is how to handle Kuvira. Michael DiMartino really translates the complexities from Kuvira in the show to this comic seamlessly. Despite Kuvira being sorry, she still doesn't feel like she did much wrong. She acknowledges that her actions caused a lot of grief and suffering, but she doesn't empathize. She offers apologies, but doesn't really feel like she should accept the punishment. She doesn't bring herself to accept responsibility. So when Korra enlists Kuvira's help later on, we aren't really sure how to feel. We don't know if we can trust her. We don't know if she's planning anything. She was so cold and calculating in Season 4 that it's hard to know what she's really thinking. One thing that hasn't changed, however, is her need to control. That is still very prevalent and just shows that there's still a lot of growing Kuvira needs to do. And it looks like we're actually going to get some insight on her backstory. I love pretty much everything involving her in this comic. My only complaint is that Team Avatar is a little bit too relaxed around her. I mean, not for nothing, but she almost wiped out an entire city. I think a pair of handcuffs aren't the best method of restraint, even if they are platinum. Also, what is up with her prison cell? It looks like it's made of earth. Even with shackles, I think she is more than capable of breaking out. She should be on a wood boat in the middle of the ocean like they did with Kazan. This time around, the relationship between Korra and Asami takes a backseat, which is fine. It had its moment to shine, and now it's time to get down to business. The characters still feel natural, but have yet to really talk about much. But that's obviously because this is still a part 1. The most they talk about is how Bolin can never seem to settle on a job. One thing I really like is how this comic touches on the problems that come with democracy. It's made clear that just because people can choose their leader, it doesn't mean that things will change. They show how people can be willing to stick with the old and the familiar and make progress come far slower than it should. People don't want the responsibility of choice, they don't want to pay attention to politics, they just want to live the same lives they've been living while letting others rule without any sort of compassion or empathy. Not only is this excellent commentary, but it feeds into how Guan plans to take control. They show how an obviously terrible person can use democracy for their own gain, and how he can seem more appealing because he doesn't fall into the status quo. That's unfortunately very relatable. The biggest thing I was looking forward to with Ruins of the Empire was the new artist. I made it clear that while I enjoyed the story of Turf Wars quite a bit, the artwork left a lot to be desired to me. I really wasn't into the overly sketchy style that Irene Ko went with. This time around we have an artist named Michelle Wong, and the difference is night and day. This is a far superior choice. The line work in this comic is solid, and the overall style is far more consistent with that of the show. This is especially noticeable in the faces. They never look off-putting, they never look creepy, and they never look like that. Even when characters are far away, their faces still retain enough detail to look like a face and not like an emoji. Ko had a habit of adding extra lines to characters' faces when they were in a 3/4 view, and sometimes exaggerating features for a more Asian vibe. And while I understand this and certainly see why people enjoy it, I personally would prefer it to look more like the show. I feel that with a similar art style, it comes off more like a continuation and less like a fanfiction. Vivian NG's coloring really complements these drawings, and every page just pops. It's on par with the last Airbender comic book series. There's really not too much to complain about. This is a fantastic start for this new installment, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here. Let me know what you guys think. This fandom is pretty passionate, and I love reading other well thought out opinions. I look forward to seeing them. Thank you guys for watching. Hey guys, if you enjoy my content, then you should follow me on Twitter, where I post channel updates and information on upcoming videos. You can find the link in the description. Thanks for watching.